Hey everybody, happy Tuesday. It's Tom. We are smack dab in the middle of the legislative session. We'll get to that in a moment, but I want to first start off with some really exciting and interesting developments in our eligibility section, our OFI. I want to talk a little bit about what we are doing and have done to expand the ability of the people we serve to apply for benefits they need. We know that so many folks have to work during the day. They may need medical assistance or food stamps, but at the same time they don't have the time to come into one of our offices. They may have to work from 9 to 5. So we recently, of course, as many of you already know, have gone to 24/7 online Medicaid applications. That seems to be going fairly smoothly so far. And then yesterday, Monday, we went online with food stamps from 5 a.m. to midnight. I can tell you we've already gotten hundreds of applications for online food stamps. We're going to make sure that we monitor that work very closely. In fact, I need y'all who are working in OFI to make sure we are getting those applications registered just as soon as you possibly can. So as we go into a situation where we're getting applications online, that we can not only process them quickly, but we're hopeful that along with the other changes we're making in terms of simplification of applications, in terms of the new dashboard, in terms of looking at automation to handle some of the basic processes such as renewals and changes of addresses, that we will in the longer run be actually reducing your workload and making your ability to get this work done more efficiently, more effectively, and more timely better. So that's an exciting process, and I think it's good news for the state of Georgia, and I think it's very much in line with Governor Kemp's promise to the people of Georgia to make customer service and good customer service from state agencies one of his top priorities. I also want to talk a little bit about the fact that February is National Parent Leadership Month, and you know, here at the agency, I guess it was last year, we rolled out a Parent Advisory Council. We have parents representing that council from each of our 14 districts, although we still need, I think, representation from Middle Georgia, and we're really also looking for more parents on this advisory council who may be kin caregivers, foster parents, and especially fathers of children who've been involved with our system. Why does this matter? Because we know that when we, as the agency, are developing policy, when we're implementing practice, that we need input from everyone. We need input from the foster parents who work with us, from the youth who tell us, who've been through the system and can tell us what was good about it, what was bad about it, what needs to change, and especially from the parents who are affected by our work. There are plenty of good people out there who run into trouble, who have been served by the agency and have been involved with DFACs, and who have gone through that process and either gotten the agency out of their lives or gotten reunited with their children. And we need their input, their viewpoints on what the agency did well, what the agency didn't do well. So Ramirez is going to put a link on here if you're interested in becoming a member of our Parent Advisory Council. And you can also contact Lindsey Dale, and she is the PCS Program Specialist, and she can help you with that if you are interested, or if you know a parent who might be interested in working with us on this Parent Advisory Council. Just checking my notes here. We need to also highlight a couple of moves, office moves. Of course, many of you already know, I think I did it 2 weeks ago or so, talking about the DeKalb office move. The new office, of course, is out there next behind North Lake Mall in Atlanta. It's going to help us serve more than 100,000 families in DeKalb County. It's a beautiful building, and we are officially moved out there. And in fact, the old Sam Street location now, I think, is pretty much shut down. I think there's maybe a few things going on there, but we have really moved those operations out to DeKalb County. I also want to highlight that in White County and up in Cleveland, Georgia, in the mountains, our DFACS office there, effective in fact yesterday, moved their offices to 970 East Keitel Street in Cleveland, and that building now has 15,000 square feet, and I think it'll house both child welfare and our OFI folks, and I think that'll be a boon to the families we serve in those areas. And I want to kind of welcome our staff to their new homes there. Getting back to the legislative session, we have, of course, a lot more to go this session, and I can tell you we are actively monitoring what's going on legislatively. The Lieutenant Governor rolled out a bill this past week that I think is going to be helpful. Just a couple highlights that will allow children and youth in foster care to get into state parks for free. We're looking at creating a different category for folks who might want to help with foster care, but who don't want to become, sort of your full-time foster parents. So we're creating the bill would create a respite caregiver category so that folks could come in, sort of dip their toes in what it's like to care for children and youth in foster care, but with fewer training requirements. And I think that's really a good move for us to really extend our continuum of services and continuum of volunteer opportunities too. We want all of our churches, our community groups, our individuals of every stripe to make sure that they can participate, whether it's being on a care team with one of the ministries we work with, whether it's being a respite caregiver, whether it's being a regular foster parent, or whether it's being a foster parent for some of our teenagers and our larger sibling groups and our children and youth who are sometimes harder to place and require more care and more attention. We want to make sure we have that continuum in place, and that's what this bill will help us do. I know that the governor is preparing a significant package of legislation in line with his promises at the State of the State address to address adoption and foster care improvement. We're looking forward to seeing that roll out in the next week or so, I'm hopeful. And other than that, we are down at the Capitol making sure that we're interacting with our legislators. We, of course, are listen to them because they listen to the people of Georgia and they tell us what's going on. So I want to encourage you, if you're a member of the public, you have a concern about foster care, adoption issues, child welfare, the agency as a whole, eligibility. If you have a chance to talk to your legislator about these issues, I can assure you that they're letting us know your thoughts and we're responding to them on a regular basis. So I want to appreciate all of y'all for whether you're one of our staff members, whether you're a public viewer, no matter what you do for the people of Georgia, whether it's in your private life or in your life as a public servant. Thank you, and we'll see you next week.